Good morning, everyone. Morning. July 14th. What a day. Tuesday. So, you can see here my screen's a little different here. I picked up this new 50K account with IQ Capital. And they're using Deep Charts as the platform, which is I've been playing around with it this morning. I really like it. These are horizontal lines here. One thing I like about it, they have the price on the horizontal lines here, so I know what prices I'm looking at. Sometimes I'll put these lines here as levels to see where I'm at, so that's really helpful. These are just the rectangle boxes I normally use, and they also have the price values there, which until you have them, you don't realize how beneficial they are. Just knowing the top of the box, the bottom of the box. This here I just marked out a little resistance area where price was bouncing. As you can see, it bounced quite high. I took some trades this morning. Oh, and the interesting thing about this account, I picked it up for $9. Yeah, $9. I couldn't say no. I wanted to buy a bunch of them, but I don't think the wife would appreciate that. But I mean, how can she say no to no? I had $9 just laying around in Cash App somewhere, so I scraped that up. I had to transfer some change that I had in my Chime account over to the Cash App account. So anyway, I built it up. I took from Peter and Paul and put it all the way over into Cash App, and I came up with the $9. Bought the account, and I've been using this to take some pre-market trades. As you can see here, I took a let's see, sell here. I took a sale there. I took a short, boom, short, enter, exit, and right now we're up about $330 pre-market. I was using it to do my pre-market kind of warm up. That's been, last stream, if you guys checked in with me, I did that last stream. I was up a couple of dollars, ended up just totally blowing that account. I don't want to talk about it, but you can check it out on the stream, and that's what these streams are for. It's the process. It's my journey. Hopefully one day you'll be watching this from the future and just wanting to see who is Myrick. Who's Myrick Myrick the Maverick, trade daddy. What's he all about? Where'd he come from? Was he telling the truth? Is he just trying to sell something? No, this is me. This is how it started. I'm sitting down here in my little basement office, got my little Yodas back there, watching over me. Got a couple little books over there that I read on the come up. So everything here, there's always there for a purpose. So you could check out and see. If you want to know, how I learned what I learned, zoom in at these books. I learned a lot from reading those books. If you're checking out these streams, from the future, this was my journey. Blue accounts, past accounts, ups, downs, learning lessons. The thing is, I keep coming back. I'm consistent. I trust the process. I know I have confidence in my skills. I have confidence in the knowing and experience that I'm gaining. And I'm working through things just like all of you guys. If you're looking back and you're trying to figure out, is this for me? Am I just a trash trader? And is this normal? Yeah, it's normal. Everyone's journey is different, though. Everyone has different struggles. Everyone experiences different things. But I can tell you one thing. Overall, anyone who decides to make this a career choice or to really take this seriously are going to have to overcome some difficulties. And the trading part is not that difficult. The the actual concepts, learning the concepts, learning the strategies are not that difficult. It can be as simple as support resistance, buy low, sell high. It's that simple. The market only goes either up or down or sideways. And once you figure out which way it's going, and you figure out which strategy you'll use to enter, the only other thing and the most difficult thing about this is discipline. Um, Being disciplined involves a lot of mental awareness, mental strength, um, confidence in your strategy, confidence in who you are. This trading will expose you. It will show you things about yourself that you weren't aware of, and things that you'll be forced to face if you really want to be profitable and really want to be successful in this area. And this is one of the things that drew me to trading, because I've always been a spiritual guy, not real religious but spiritual. I've took interest in yoga, meditation, things of that sort. And trading is it's like a big ball of all of that in one. If you want to be a successful trader, you have to first be diligent in wanting to learn the information, then be consistent in showing up and gaining experience, and then from that point just implementing the strategy and implementing the knowledge that you have, and then to gain the confidence in when you deploy your strategy onto the charts, you have the confidence in knowing that this is my strategy. I know it'll work. I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Now it may not always work out in your favor, but this is a game of probability. That's what trading is. Probability. There's no way you can know for sure what the market's going to do at any given time. However, when you analyze what price has been doing, and you put together all the elements that are at your disposal as far as the information that you have on any particular asset that you may be trading, once you put together your analysis and you decide which is the highest probability action that you should take, whether long or short, or just sit on your hands, that's what you have to be confident in. And if you consistently stick with that strategy, more so than not, you'll experience gains as opposed to losses. You will experience losses, because high probability doesn't mean 100%. But instead of thinking of it as a loss, you just think of it as part of what is necessary to get to the finish line. You have to take some of those negatives in order to experience the positives. That's what probability is. It's, you have maybe your strategy has a 70% win rate. 30% of the time you'll experience is either break evens or losses. But as long as that 70% is bigger than that 30%, you're profitable. I've even seen traders where they have a win rate of 30% and a lose rate of 70%. However, their wins are way bigger than their losses. So if their win is on average a 3-to-1, meaning, you know, they're risking 1%, but they're gaining 3%. That means for every loss, every win, they have the ability to lose 3 times and be at break even. And on the 4th loss in a row, they would actually be at a negative. But how often, I mean, what's the probability of losing 4 times in a row and consistently? Like, by that time, you need to reevaluate your strategy. But that's the key. It's not a game of I'm going to win way more than I lose, but my wins are going to be way bigger than my losses. And they're not really losses, it's a stop loss. So you're actually stopping at a predetermined price that you're comfortable with, so that you, and that's not a loss, that's a win, because you've now gained experience, you've gained knowledge, you've gained more information about what price is actually doing. So once it hits your stop loss, you decided to cut the trade at that point, because at that particular level, price is not doing what you expected it to do. You're going to stop, you're going to cut it, reevaluate, and then maybe get a different entry. But the whole objective is to gain the knowledge. Like, listen, if it hits this point, we're going to cut this trade. It's not doing what we planned out to do. This is part of my plan. So my plan did work because it hit my stop loss, and now we're going to go in and evaluate and see if we can't get it above or below this area, whatever you decide. But the point is, if it hits that stop loss, you're managing your trade. That's just trade management. It's not necessarily a loss. It's just trade management. But the key is you have to put on a size that will depict numbers that you're comfortable with. Some people put on too much risk, and that P&L, that number, they're at a stop loss at negative 1,500. That's a big number for some people, especially when you got a 50K prop firm account and you're only able to lose 2,000 and you're down 1,500 on one trade. That's kind of heavy. So you would want to put on a risk that you're comfortable with. So, you know, you're in a trade, you got a $50,000 account, your loss limit is 2,000, meaning if you hit the $2,000 loss, your account's blown. If you're in a trade and you're down $100 on one particular trade and you cut it off, you can manage that. You're not in any jeopardy of blowing your account. You know, you still have $1,900 left before you blow your account. You know, so that's 1,900 more stop losses. So, you know, you put it in that perspective, and that's just, you know, whatever the number is. But you put whatever the number is, you put a number that may feel maybe $50. You know, you maybe just put on one micro to make your stop loss at $50. You know, decent, and you know, there you go. It may be $500 a trade, and you may only take 2 trades a day. Or maybe $300 a day, whatever it is. Just make sure that you're comfortable with those numbers, and you've accepted that number. And when it hits that number, it doesn't affect you emotionally, and you can move on. So that's one of the lessons I'm learning. I'm still working on, and yeah, we'll work through it together as we view these videos. So today, the Nasdaq. So I don't know if I'm going to trade this IQ charts at the open, because I do have an Apex account, 50K account that I need to pass as well. So I may use this account as my open. I take my trades after the open and use my IQ account to take trades before open. So I may use it like that. So let's see. We're still before open, so I'm going to stick here. I like this. I like deep charts. You know, I was stuck on TradeEvade. This is my TradeEvade account. I like TradeEvade. I used to just trade on TradingView and connect it, but there's a lag there because TradingView is not a platform for taking trades. It's a platform for marking up your charts. So if you connect Tradeovate to TradingView or any other broker to TradingView, there's going to be a lag from the time you hit buy or sell on TradingView to the time it hits the brokerage firm. So I just mark up my charts on TradingView and then take my trades on the actual brokerage platform like Tradeovate. Now on here on deep charts, I've been marking up my charts just to get used to some of the tools over here and get used to the buy, sell, and everything. Just still getting used to this platform, which is pretty easy. I mean, I think I got the hang of it. So there's a lot of there's a lot of amenities on this that I like. You can do your predetermined stop loss here and take profits. So when you hit it, it automatically boom boom hits your stop loss. Take profits are already on the board. If you like to do it that way, it has a break even feature there. So I kind of like it. I like it. I'm still working on how to best make my stream function. So when I'm marking up my charts on TradingView, you guys can't really see it because it's on my other screen. So I'm trying to see how I can make this work. So let me see. Give me 1 second here. Boom. There we go. So, all right. So now that's a close up. Let me see how my beard doing. I'm still in the morning. Got my robe on. Oh, you can see The Way of the Turtle. That's a good book. I like that book. Okay, so here. So now that I'm here on here, now you can see my trading view. You see me. You see my trading view. So this is where this is my trading view. This is where I mark up most of my stuff. So this is the 5-minute chart. Here's my 5-minute chart. Let's see how I look there. How do I look? All right. Got my hair going on. Yeah. Got my Darth Vader coffee here. Yep. All right. So let's see. All right. So I'm looking for I was anticipating shorts for the open. This is our new week opening gap here. We had a big 830 candle that shot up into, the mean threshold of this new week opening gap. We've already hit prior day. We swept prior day lows. We swept it down here, swept those lows. Yeah, we got down here and hit those lows. 12 a.m. Boom. So I also got. So we got a lot. So we do have. This is where price settled at yesterday at close. To go in here to the 1 minute here. See if I need to mark out some more levels here. Sometimes I don't use all of these indicators, but they now have indicators that will mark up a lot of things for you. So I'll mark them up as much as I can on freehanded. But if I put in, say, this FVG by Nephew Sam, I open this up, and what it'll do is it'll mark out all these fair value gaps in here. And for the most part, like I've seen this fair value gap here, I'll know where these. But sometimes you'll see a little one that you didn't really see especially when you're trying to do it really fast. And what it'll do is it'll put them there, and then you can pick and choose which ones you want to use. And then it allows for me not to miss a fair value gap that I might have missed with my naked eye. You see, I got glasses on here. They're not that thick, but they're not that thin either. But anyway, those are the little things that I'll use, especially when I'm trying to analyze the charts really quick or in the middle of a trade. So one of the things are the key levels. So I like to put my key level indicator on here. I'll take off my SMAs. I use my SMAs, my moving averages, basically as bounce areas. When price is, following. This is my 8 moving average, the 20 moving average, and the 200. This is my VWAP. So price is above VWAP, above the 200. We're at a transition area. So the 8 is crossing over top of the 20. So this is a downward cross. This is a bearish cross. So it's indicating that price is moving down on average. I like to see that, especially when the 1 and the 5 correlates. So the 5 hasn't quite got there yet. So, the bearish or the shorts are less probable here. But when the 1 and the 5 align, you're in a full short. But by the time this 5 gets there, the 1 will basically be down here already. So sometimes you take it on the 1, sometimes you wait, take it on the 5. But at open, price would typically, maybe manipulate upward and then go down for the shorts. That would be ideal, but who knows these days. We have did we inverse that 30 minute? We did. We've inversed this. I had a fair value gap here. Inversed this 30-minute fair value gap, which was indicated bullish. So we did create a 30-minute fair value gap here, which would be nice to get an inversion on there, taking on our shorts. So that's what I like too. During pre-market, I like to see if price is going up and I'm looking at shorts, what fair value gaps are created on the way up. And if I'm looking short, I'm looking at the inversion of those fair value gaps. I usually don't go as high as 30-minute because I want to get in a trade before it inverses the 30-minute. This is possibly another 30-minute fair value gap. We got about 9 minutes left on that candle, so it's technically not a fair value gap until this candle closes. But I put this one here because I'd probably be in the trade already up here, and by the time it gets down here, we'll be experiencing some resistance, and then we'll see if price is going to inverse this fair value gap for a continuation. We have a nice wick up here. nice 30-minute wick up here, which is suggesting there's a lot of sellers. There's some sellers up there. They probably hit this 30-minute order block here, but that's just, you know, some confirmation uses there. I'll usually go on the 5-minute and see what fair value gaps were created on the 5-minute that can be inversed on the way down. And it looks like this is our daily fair value gap here, which was just an area of resistance. Of course, that won't be inversed until the day's over or whatever. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get this off my chart here, off my minute chart anyway, so it won't be so cluttered. So we have a 30-minute fair value gap here, which lines up with a 5-minute fair value gap here. So we have a 5-minute here. We have our 5-minute fair value gap here. So I'd like to see an inversion here. Before entering. And we have another 5-minute here. Let's get this out there. So we have a 5-minute here. 5-minute fair value gap here as well. But typically, if we inverse here, by the time we get here, like I said, we'll be experiencing some. By the time we get here, we'll be close enough to TP that I'm looking at. I'm not too worried about that. We may look at a pullback into the 30. Then hopefully we've inversed the 30 by then. We inverse the 30. I'm not really too worried about the 5. We have a lot of equal lows down here. A lot of relative equal lows down here for price to so let's put that there. Actually, factually, I have a lot of pre-marked lines here, so I think I have too many, because it's supposed to speed the process up, but I have so many. When I stroll through them, they're like, it takes forever to find it. So I'm looking for my equal low line here. I may not have it on that one, but what I'll do is I don't want to extend that no more. So relative equal lows. There we go. That's what I'd be shooting for. We're getting some nice manipulation to the upside here before open, which means we'll probably shoot on up there, and then, which would be nice, and then come on down for these shorts. But let me get back to what I was doing here. Let's close that out. Let's open up these key levels. I wanted to mark my New York open, which is here. That's another draw on liquidity. New York midnight open. Okay, so we have settlement, New York midnight open, prior day lows, and Asia lows. Really nice. Really nice draws on liquidity down there. So we inverse this 5-minute at the open. We shoot up, maybe tag these highs, maybe even the prior day high. I don't know. If we go that far, depending on how it gets up there, it may even take a long to get up there. This is a higher time frame level here that I marked out. We are above the halfway point of that level, so typically I think we may shoot at least to here, at least to there, So I have some interior levels here. We're at the 50% mark. So between this high, this is a monthly level. Between this monthly level and this month, this is the 50% mark. This is the 75% mark of that monthly level. In between that, I further broke it down and have a 75, 50, and 25% between those levels, between price reaching here to here. So currently we're here above the 50% level, which tells me that price will at least get to here and high probability shoot here before going down, which could cause me to put in a preemptive jab here, expecting price to shoot up to catch that quick momentum to the upside. Would that be gambling? No, because again, it's it's probability, game of probabilities. And from my analysis, from these levels, us being already above the 50% of the monthly level, which tells me price will typically get to the next level because we've reached way above 50% of this level and above 50% of this level. We're respecting constant encroachment of this 5-minute fair value gap. Tells me that price, high probability, will get to this level here at the open. So what I'll do is I'll put that trade on my IQ charts. So this is a 5-minute order block. We may come down here to this 5-minute order block, then shoot up. Let's see. So we have a 5-minute order block here. Let me come down into this 5-minute and then go up. Let's see what ES is doing here. I'll mark out the 15 on ES. See what we do here. So we are at the open here. Going down into that 5-minute order block. Down into that 5-minute order block on NQ. Are we going to respect it? Or is it just going to totally blow past it down to these lows? So it looks like we're respecting that order block there, trying to respect it. Anyway, let's go down to the 1 minute and see what's going on. So NQ is a lot weaker than ES. We're showing a lot more than ES. We got a lot of resistance here on ES. NQ steadily pushing down. So it looks like we're pushing down towards settlement. If we continue to push down, maybe get a pullback. Maybe get a nice pullback.
Order filled.
All right, so I put on a short here on my IQ charts. This is on a 30-second chart. Try to shoot down to the bottom of that 830 candle that we had here. Go a little bit higher than that 830 candle, but it looks like momentum's gonna carry us down to that area. So I'd like to catch some of that momentum. Again, this is a 30-second chart I got on the entry. And it looks like it's working out pretty well. So we're up. So we're going to get to the bottom of that. So I may go ahead and cut this and lock in some of these gains here. I like that. So, you know, in the open, there's time that we could, you know, shoot straight up off of just opening regardless. So let's see where we go here. So that's probably where I was there. That was my TP there, that line there. So that's the 830 CPI low there. Well, actually, that's the CPI low. That was my area. This is the actual CPI low. You see how we got that pullback even before I got to my TP. So it could set us up for another entry. This is the 30-second time frame. Let's see what we look like on the 1 minute. On the 1 minute, it's a nice pullback. So we had a break of structure here, maybe pulling back into that order block on the 1 minute before we decide to head on down there. A lot of liquidity to the downside there. A lot of liquidity. So we still haven't inversed that 5 minute. We still haven't inversed that 5 minute yet here on NQ to confirm shorts. So I just took that little trade on my IQ chart, up about $485 on IQ. So I'm going to switch over to my Apex. And let's see, we get the morning started on there. So I'm going to look for a more high probability trade here. We are getting the bullish movement that is necessary before we move lower. So those data lows, that 830 candle is a primary objective there. But we also have London lows, we have Asia lows, we have settlement, and we have New York open, and we have prior day lows down there. So there's a lot of liquidity resting down there. So let's see what price does here at the top. And we got a nice pullback. We got a nice pullback here. On the 1 minute, it looks like price is pulled back into that, right into that 1 minute order block there. So let's see if we can get an inversion here on the 1 minute. So if we go over to the 1 minute here, what I'm looking for, IFEG on the 1 minute. So if we get an IFEG on this 1 minute, I'd be interested in taking this short right down here to these lows here. Shiloh, come here. Come here. What's wrong? What's wrong? That's my little one. What's wrong? He pulled your hair? He didn't mean it. He's just a baby. He didn't mean it. He's sorry. He's sorry. He didn't mean it.
No money.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just sit here for a second. Sit with Daddy for a second. Okay, calm down. Right, don't try to move up.
I want Daddy.
I'm right here. Just relax. I'm right here. It's okay. I'm right here.
You want my potato. You smash my potato.
Okay.
You smash my potato.
Okay, we'll fix it. We'll fix it.
You mess it.
Okay.
Bad. That's bad. That's bad.
All right, we got about 10 seconds here. We close on this IFEG,
That's
and we'll get in on these
bad.
shorts. So we got a little close there. We'll pull back.
What's that
I'm
code?
in.
Daddy, you open this. So pretty. Smell good. Eat that. Yum, yum, yum. Yummy, red icy. Okay, I have to go away.
All right, so I'm in here with 3 contracts for the short. All right, let's stop. Okay. Well, I'm in at 5 contracts. I'm sorry. Put my stop loss here.
Red, yellow,
With the protected highs.
blue,
Well,
red.
yeah. I'm gonna bring my stop loss down here.
This one.
On 6.
This is much better. Cause
So it looks like we went in maybe a little bit too early here. So I'm just gonna cut it out there. So we didn't get a good trade on that first one. We'll look for maybe a further sweep of the highs here and get a better entry. Get down. Where are you going, Shiloh? So we did have a nice pullback there. So this is the protected high up here. We swept that high there. We're just looking at a setup now. Let's see what the 30-second chart's looking at. So we got a higher high, higher low on the 30-second. Respecting this fair value gap here on the 30-second. Looks like we got some nice push to the downside there. It's still respecting that fair value gap on a 30-second there. I want to get below constant encroachment of that 5-minute fair value gap. It's around about this 752 area. Right about here. We can get some nice bodies below there. back to the 1 minute. Size. Yeah, on the 15, we've got a lot of bottom wicks on that 15, so a lot of resistance there on that 15. I might take that out there. So we're holding this area here. Sell-off may not be in our cards today. I do not like what I'm seeing here. So it doesn't look like we're going to sell off today. I'm going to try and get out of this with just maybe a little bit of profit and look for a move to the upside. It looks like we're building liquidity up here on the upside. We could get a small jab down here, hopefully get us out in some profit. And that's the plan as of now. We are holding up here. Just got a new 15-minute candle, which doesn't look like it wants to push down. I may have to cut this trade just to save. So that new 15-minute gave us some manipulation. I don't just want to hand the market over our money. I do trust in the fact that we will go a little bit lower. That's why I'm holding on to this. But overall, I think the move is going to be to the upside. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm going to stick with my first analysis that we will jab a little bit lower here. We do have a lot of liquidity down there. We're building up a lot of low resistance liquidity here. But it's just not a lot of setup there for me to want to stay in these trades. So we got a lot of low resistance liquidity here. We could continue to the downside, but I need a better setup. I'd like to see an inversion of that 5-minute. So I may get back in here to see. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on here. We are moving down. Looks like we may be able to get down there to the bottom here. So let's see. If we get a nice little small little pullback, I will get back in on this trade. So I'm banking on grabbing. There we go. So we got back in there a little bit, grabbed a couple extra dollars. And this is a valuation account, so I am trading this a lot more aggressive than I would normally. So you see we swept that. Well, we didn't sweep that low. We left that low there, which tells me we may be coming back down for that low and getting into these data lows here. Still haven't inversed that 5-minute fair value gap. Below that, we have a 30-minute fair value gap, which could cause for more pullback. So honestly speaking, it didn't look like the market's going to sell off. I'm going to stick with my original analysis. Believe that the market is going to be looking for lower prices. We may be experiencing a few pullbacks here because of these fair value gaps. I'm going to wait and see if this 5-minute candle closes below this this fair value gap. We got about 25 seconds. So let's see if we can body below that 5-minute. We closed right on it. Let's see if I can catch some of that momentum. We did get below that 5-minute fair value gap a little bit there. Picked up another $300 there. So that little loss that we took this morning, we recovered that, up $59. So I traded that aggressively because this is an eval. I seen the momentum going downward, just knowing EQ, NQ, and how it moves. I knew we were going to get a little bit more movement to the downside. I increased my my micros from 5 to 10 I knew I wasn't going to be in the market that long. So to make up for that, I increased my risk and it paid off. So now we're going to trade a little bit smarter. We're going to go back to the 5 micros there and going to look for that longer set. It looks like we may sell off here. So I'd like to see a nice body closure below that 5-minute fair value gap. Let me check the 30 here. Let's see where we are. So we got it. Yeah, we still got about a good 23 minutes on that 30-minute before we even think about closing below it. Anyway, let me get you guys on a trading view. So here's a trading view here. We closed that last candle, closed right on that 5-minute fair value gap. We experienced a little bit of volume below it. It immediately rejected off the fair value gap below there. We are coming up on this 5-minute order block. So to see a complete sell-off here, we have a 1 hour fair value gap down here. We like to break below these lows to see further sell-off down here to get some of this liquidity down here. However, I'd like to be in a short before they're targeting these relative equal lows here. So honestly, if we can get an inversion here of this 5-minute, we get an inversion there of that 5-minute, we're looking at about 60 points, 60, 70 points to the downside, which is a pretty good trade. I'd take 70 points. I'd take 70 points. So let's see. Let's see. We did reach those data lows, which we were aiming for, which we were looking for. So my primary analysis was correct on that one. We do have data highs open, and we have our relative equal lows open. So either way, we have some liquidity to the upside. We have more liquidity rested down here to the downside. Doesn't mean that we have to take it on this PM session. I mean, on this AM session, we could shoot for that on the PM session. It's just now 10 o'clock. So we're still inside that 950 macro. We got about 2 minutes left on that. Looks like we're moving to the downside. We may dig into that 5-minute fair value gap, but an inversion right now. We got about a minute left on that. And if we can get a closure below that 5-minute fair value gap, I'd definitely get in on that. And I'd hold it down here until we get to those relative equal lows. Yeah, I'd hold it to about right there. So if we can body below this, we'd be it's bouncing off VWAP. We'd be below VWAP. That's all the confirmation I need to be able to get in on that there. Honestly, we'd have held our short to this point. We'd be sitting good with basically a free trade. On the 1 minute, we have a bearish MA cross there, which is good confirmation. You can see how far down it's following that 8 MA all the way down there. It's looking pretty good on the 1 minute. Just got a new 5-minute candle with a wick, or the top wick, just looking good. May try to build a position in here. So I just put 2 micros in, just kind of build in a position. Let's see where we are. We are bouncing off that 5-minute fair value gap. Bouncing off constant encroachment, that 5-minute fair value gap. I'd like to get below constant encroachment. That would give us nice confirmation for continuation to the downside. I like this top wick here. I like these top wicks. So price is ticking around there, bouncing off that MA. That's that moving average there on the 1 minute, which it has been respecting. If we break this candle's high here, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. So we broke that. We're bouncing off this 200 here. So let's see. We're below the 20. We're below the 200. We got 1 minute left on this 15-minute candle. We went all the way to the bottom of that 15-minute fair value gap. We went all the way to the bottom of that 15-minute fair value gap and bounced up. So let's see if we retest. The more we retest that 15-minute fair value gap, the more we go back down there and shoot at it, the weaker it gets. So that's what we're banking on there. We're showing some movement to the downside, showing some good volume to the downside. I'm gonna pull my stop loss down here, protect those profits. Like I said, I'm playing this aggressively, so we'll just walk it down. We do have some room. We're looking for more to the downside there, and this is just 2 micros. I was planning to build a position in. There we go. There we go. So we got some expansion there off of that. So what we'll be looking for here is a creation of a fair value gap to the downside on this 1 minute. And then looking for a pullback into that fair value gap and then carry us down to these lows. That's a nice setup there. Got about 3 minutes left to got about 3 minutes left on the 5-minute candle. See if we can body below this 5 minute. We body below this 5 minute. Good. Here's that fair value gap on the 1. Here's that fair value gap on the 1 minute here that we were looking for. Let's look for it back into this fair value gap. Then we'll get into this trade. If we go down below this into this wick, we dig into this wick. So I think I can catch the rest of this move down to the downside here. I think we'll sweep these relative equal lows, and then look for a reversal to the upside. But I kind of wanted to catch some of this. I get my stop loss ready because I want to drag that stop loss down there without having to close it out all the way. Got about 1 minute left on that 5-minute candle. See if we can body below that 5-minute fair value gap. My size heavy on this one just because we got this just a little bit. I'm not looking for a whole lot. So there's that. Back into that fair value gap. I thought we were just going to leave that fair value gap as a breakaway, but we did trade back into it, as I mentioned earlier. And I'd like to see a push down from there. Don't like to see it dancing around in there like that. Got about 25 seconds left on that 5-minute. See if we can body below it. And I don't like that. Don't like that. This is some manipulation. Try to scare us out of this trade. And if you're not, yeah. And it's working. I'm going to tell you that much. So we did not close below that 5-minute. We wicked back up into that 30-minute fair value gap. This is our 1-minute order block here. So I'm sticking in there because I mean, it just makes sense for them to sweep these lows before going higher. It just makes sense for that to happen. Does that mean it will happen? No, it doesn't. It makes sense to me, but you know, who am I? I'm just a simple day trader here, trying to make it happen. It makes sense. Now, think how many people entered in longs here, thinking we're going for the reversal. I'll get it up to the 07, 09. Let's make it 10. Now think how many people got into longs here looking for the reversal without these lows getting swept. But if they want to make it make sense, they would trap them longs and come on down and get swept there, which it stopped us out. Stopped us out. Wow. And this account is definitely not looking good. It's timing. It's all about timing. So maybe we can get back with a little bit better timing. But I would say that they're going to sweep those lows before moving higher. Yeah, I think we're done on the day on this account here. That account is no good. I'm not going to trade my IQ account. I'm going to keep that where it is. I'm going to keep my IQ account there. Alright, I'm just checking something here. How's that push? Nice push to the upside there. Look at that 5 minute. We had a nice rejection there off that 5 minute fair value constant encroachment, which gives us some bearish confluence there. So let's just see what happens from there. Yeah. So we may go up. We do have some liquidity. We have some trend line liquidity there. It bounced off. Bounced off this 5 minute. This 5 minute area here. We were bearish, and then in a moment's time, everything just flipped bullish. That's news. I think Trump claimed victory or something to that effect. That's the environment we're living in. Makes it kind of hard to trade. We have this 10 o'clock open area here. Check out this hourly candle. Look at that. Wow. Look at that wick there on that hourly. That's crazy. That's in the last hour. We were all the way down here and then boom. So, yeah. Well, so it looks like we're just manipulating around here. It's been highly manipulated with the news. We took a couple trades here. Didn't fare too well on that 150K eval. Traded it aggressively. That didn't work out for us too well. I still have the IQ account that we're trading. We did good on that pre-market. I'm gonna let that go, let that ride. As for the rest of the day here, we may be looking at more action in the PM section, in the PM session. Looking to sweep either these lows or these highs for a continuation move to the upside. Right now, it's kind of playing back and forth in the middle. Did think we were going to go down here and sweep these lows, then go up to the highs. That would have been the clean move that made more sense. However, it's looking like price may just continue to the upside. If we can get over top of this little resistance area here, price may go up to try to close in this new week opening gap. Or as we discussed in the earlier part of the stream, we are above that higher time frame area, that 50% area. We're above that interior of that higher time frame, that 50% area. So we may be looking to at least go to the 30,000. Price maybe get back up to 30,000. That's what it's looking like. I'm looking for price to break above this little resistance area here. We break above this little resistance area here and make our way on up. I'd be interested in getting into some loans, but right now we're just kind of stuck in the middle here. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream on that note. I may come back for a PM session. I don't know, but as of now, this is where we are as far as the day goes. Thanks everyone for checking me out. No matter when you're looking at this stream, whether it's now or from the future, please hit that like button. It definitely helps out. So thanks again. I hope we helped each other in some way, shape, or form. And I will see you guys in the next one.